Hi, I'm Mohit Kohli. Uh, I'm a recovering addict for life, and I'll be your book on another high in the Human Library project, and I hope to help you. So, had a very happy childhood. Enjoyed my schooling in Delhi. I finished my schooling in 1990, and went to Bangalore for engineering. Little did I realize that this beautiful city had something terrible awaiting me, and I fell into the quicksand of drugs in my second year of college, and it's taken me around about 25 years to get out of that. So till second year in college, it was all good and rosy, and I had taken up to smoking at that time in point, and I had a sort of a raw throat. So I went to a medical store nearby and asked for something for the throat, and he gave me a cough syrup. So at that time, I had no clue that cough syrups also have narcotics in them. So I took the cough syrup and had 3 spoons, as was mentioned on the bottle. And after that, I felt a real high, euphoric feeling. And I didn't realize that it was because of the cough syrup. I thought maybe it was one of my good days and I was having a jolly good time, chatting up with strangers. But this is how my progression in drugs started. One thing led to another. Codeine led to sedatives like diazepams and all, and then morphine, and then ketamine, and occasionally pot. So as the progression of drugs continued from one high to another higher one, I discovered that my choice of poison was morphine, and I was addicted to it hook, line, and sinker, and for a good like 5 to 6 years, till the time it wasn't available anywhere with any chemist shop. Otherwise, I might still have been using it and might have died of an overdose. So that was my poison of choice, and that's the main thing that really kept me in the drug world for so long. So from the age of 20, I was into hardcore drugs, and I'm 45 now. So of those roughly 25 years of hardcore addiction, half of the time has been spent in institutions, and these institutions were not just plain rehabs, but some of them were also like serious hardcore psychiatric wards, even though I didn't have any psychiatric problem. And the medication given to me by doctors over there, they diagnosed me as bipolar, OCD, and God knows what not. And the medication they gave me, I mean, that did more harm to me than the drugs themselves. Like I would forget what is the next sentence I was going to say. I had lost all communication powers, and could just say a few words. हाँ ना yes thank you अच्छा है ठीक है नहीं. I mean this was my vocabulary. I mean for a good 5 to 6 years, till I went to land and I regained my life to quite some extent. So I had decided to get myself admitted to a mental institution because I could tolerate my suffering, but I couldn't see, I mean, people, close family around me, like my wife, my parents, my brother and sister, my friends. I mean, I couldn't see them suffer on my account. So I thought, I mean, since nothing is working, it's better that I go and get myself locked up into some mental institution and stay there for the rest of the life. And at least if I'm out of their sight, they won't be suffering so much, and they'll forget after maybe a few months or so. And by God's grace, I mean, it was at this point in time that I came to know about this place called the Sacred Land in Bombay, and it's got a recovery rate of 85%, which is, I mean, unmatched anywhere across the world. So I joined over there in around a couple of years back, and that's when the inner revolution started, and I could see clearly where I was going wrong, what were the character defects in me which were leading me to drugs. And by character defects, normally people would assume that a character defect is something like a pedophile or something like that, but it's not that. I mean, character defect can be anything such as low threshold of boredom, impulsivity, and stuff like that. I mean, numerous things. So I mean, all these things I was made to discover on my own and pointed out rightly, guided by the doc, who I am really grateful to. And I mean, that was the turning point in my life, and that was the point where the tracks changed. The path to recovery is not that difficult. It's just that you have to be aware about which areas you have to work on. And believe me, they are pretty simple and they've been passed down right from the ages of the Vedas. According to World Health Organization's definition for a healthy person, a person should have four planes balanced, that is, spiritual, physical, mental, and social. If your four planes are balanced and accounted for, you are considered healthy, and there's no way you're going to fall into the trap of drugs. So it's not been all smooth sailing after land, so as to say. There are lows and depressive phases as well, and challenges in life as well. Believe me, there are plenty. But overcoming those challenges gives you a greater high than any drug, and for that, I had to work a lot on building my coping mechanisms, which was like pathetic. And I'm still working on it. It's constantly a work in progress, and it will be till I die. So I mean that really boosts me and helps me move along. And believe me, I mean there's no better high than a breath of fresh air and willing to work hard and everybody and try to discover like what is the mission of your life, what is the purpose. Like I used to ask myself a lot of times, like God, like I've been alive taking drugs 25 years and I don't even know even a single person who has survived so long on such hardcore drugs, like 10 ampules of morphine for 4 years and I'm still alive. My hands are work fine, my legs are fine. I can move around, do normal work, talk normally. I've got my thinking back in process and got a job with a multinational company, which is also a great thing. And believe me, I mean, it's a beautiful life. So I welcome you to pick up this book, Another High, and go through it page by page. And believe me, you'll learn a lot of stuff that you didn't even have a clue about, and which will help spread the good word around and help your near and dear ones as well. And it will be like a chain reaction from one person to another. The word will be spread, and a lot of people will avoid falling into the trap that I did. And uh, believe me, this is from my personal experience, that a sober high in life is much better than a high on drugs or alcohol, because the other high in life is everlasting, and even the lows over there are a challenge that you love to overcome and you're grateful for everything.